Greetings, my name is Diljan Singh, and I welcome you to United for Farmers, an event curated and presented by Rukus Avenue. Today we shall honor and celebrate the backbone of society, our farmers, who carry the wisdom of cultivation. With every seed they plant, they pray for prosperity and good health. Today we shall look into their lives, as well as recall our heritage and support those who are protesting for their rights. I present to you United for Farmers. A question has arisen. Why are 250 million individuals protesting on the borders of Delhi? For countless years, farmers have struggled with the aftermath of suicides, lack of resources, deprivation of opportunities, and illness amongst the community. However, farmers never let these aspects harm or tarnish their livelihood. Farming is considered to be a very prideful, self-employable occupation. With the entry of corporate objectives, farmers may lose their independence. According to the new bills, prior to the production of crops, farmers must sign an agreement with corporate players. The bills are identified to have severe repercussions for the farmers if they breach their contracts, and there is no monetary standard. With these bills, uncertainty exists, and the livelihood of farmers is at threat.
ਪੰਨਿਆਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਇਸ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ ਦੇ ਪੰਨਿਆਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਮਸਲੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਉਠਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਮਸਲੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਉਠਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਨਵੇਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਬਣਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਮਨਜ਼ੂਰ ਕਰਾਉਣੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਮਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਲਿਖਿਓ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਖਿਓ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਲਾਈ ਵਾਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਖਿਓ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਹ ਵੀ ਲਿਖਿਓ ਇਸ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਿਲ ਦੇ ਰਾਹ ਤੇ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਪੁਸ਼ਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਗਾਮ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਰਤਾਜ ਇਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਪੁਸ਼ਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਗਾਮ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਫਿਰ ਸਰਤਾਜ ਇਨਾਮ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਲਿਖ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਇਸ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ ਦੇ ਪੰਨਿਆਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਇਸ ਤਹਿਰੀਕ ਦੇ ਪੰਨਿਆਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ ਯਾਦ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਤੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ
From cleansing the house to fertilizing the land, a woman is the center gem in the crown which is known as soil. Throughout history, women have always stood ahead of men in the line of fire. To share her impeccable insight, I welcome an activist of righteousness and culture, K-Ray.
Now, women make up about 1/3 of workers, yet only 13% of them own their own land. And with the alarming rates of farmer suicides, a lot of these women are now taking on major responsibilities. Not only are they grieving their loved ones or dealing with their own mental health, they are raising their children, trying to get them set up for school and marriage, and taking over the fields. More than half of India's farming households are in debt, which is the #1 leading cause of farmer suicides. We've seen over 20,000 farmers who have taken their lives in the last 2 years alone. This protest is decades worth of fighting for their livelihoods. Agriculture is their culture, And what makes this movement unique is that this is going to take over the entire country. It's already doing it, with labor workers and farmers protesting in every state. And as inspiring it is to watch this global movement continue to grow, there have been major repercussions of people voicing their concern and support. Peaceful protesters have been met with tear gas, water cannons, police brutality, internet and water and food supply and access to toilets have been cut off at the major protest borders. Barricades and nails have been built around Delhi, denying entry to its own citizens, and hundreds of protesters, activists, and journalists have been abducted and illegally arrested. On January 12th, Nodeep Kaur, a young Dalit activist, had been picked up and sexually harassed and assaulted under police custody. She has been denied bail. Despite all of this, she's been in contact with her lawyers and her sister Rajveer Kaur, who says her unwavering spirit is still unbroken. She says she will continue to fight for the rights of labor workers and farmers when she is free. Last week, 21-year-old climate activist Disha Ravi was arrested for simply sharing a toolkit, something that is often used to share resources and information about protests in large movements around the world, to get people educated and to show their support. This is something we're used to seeing in democracy. This force of silence, however, is only fueling protesters around the world to keep up the momentum. The resiliency of protesters on the ground is incomparable. Despite sleeping in cold, wet conditions for 3 months, they continue to uplift one another in revolutionary song and dance. They've built free community kitchens, also known as langar, feeding everyone from protesters to local residents. Even as they fight for their own livelihoods, they continue to feed the community. They've also been able to build gym facilities, brought access to free healthcare, free education for local children and seniors, setting up libraries, distributing free menstrual products, set up blood donation clinics to donate to local hospitals. Even though the water supply has been cut off, they've installed water tanks and are now building their own toilets. They've even created their own newspaper, which is volunteer-run, called Jolly Times, to help everyone keep informed on the protest sites. We are currently witnessing an historic revolution, creating a new, inclusive path for future generations.
United as one,
stronger than ever.
Sabgi.
We are daughters of Kisan, representing the roots of Punjab in New York City through Gitta. It's one of the oldest dance forms in Punjab, symbolizing love,
strength, and celebration.
Gitta is performed during festive or social occasions, especially during the sowing and reaping of the harvest. Kisani is in our blood. We stand with our farmers until justice is served.
Regardless of race, religion, ethnicity, and gender, we are all one. The farmers who cultivate our food are a part of us. They're our connection to the land and traditions, and we will stand up with our brothers and sisters in their time of need. As Martin Luther King has once said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Next up, I'd like to introduce you to Niyar Sakya, an actor and a resident of Assam. Thank you.
Rabindranath Tagore had once said, "Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high." I'll stop right there. Let us be consumed by the statement of it. In the current scenario, every farmer around the world has their own unique needs, has their own unique abilities, and their own unique agricultural society. And in that regard, I would like to focus my address on the northeastern part of India, the farmer society here in Assam. The northeastern part of India has been culturally stereotyped and historically neglected throughout the years. With its immensely volatile geographical conditions, it also hampers an agricultural society. There has been very less investment in the agricultural sector here in Assam, because of which a lot of indigenous farmers have to go through immense financial disbalance. The northeast itself being an earthquake-prone zone, plus disasters of floods happening almost every year in Assam, the farmers have to go through a lot of difficulties with their livelihoods being compromised. More than 2.8 million people have been affected by the floods in Assam in 2020, and there has been no safety nets whatsoever for a predominantly agricultural society. While I'm highlighting these points, it's also important to know the representation matters in whatever form it may come. We're all gathered here today to honor the farmers around the world, and I think it's a great privilege of us to be having a safe space all to ourselves as we talk about this. And I thank Rukus Avenue for giving me the opportunity, and I also thank the farmers around the world who have been taking care of us for so long. And I think as we keep our head held high, we're all taking care of them as well. Thank you.
Up next, 15th century bhajan Vaishnava Janato, written by Gujarati poet saint Narasin Mehta, and sung here today by Musical Doc, who brings to life a genre of music that incorporates diversity, soul, and higher consciousness. The poem speaks about the ideals and mentality that can transform ourselves, our community, and indeed the entire world. Through this poem and our compassionate actions, may we honor our farmers, caretakers of our sacred land. It goes something like this. One who is a Vaishnava feels the pain of others, helps those who are in misery, respects the entire world, does not speak ill of others, keeps their promises, actions, and thoughts pure. I'd be grateful to meet such a soul whose virtue liberates their entire lineage.
To know the pain of others, to do good to others, to praise the entire world. Vaishnava Janato. Vaishnava Janato tene kaije pid paraye chane re. Vaishnava Janato tene kaije pid paraye chane re. Pardo ke upar kare kare thoye, pardo ke upar kare kare thoye, man abhiman jane re. Vaishnava Jana to tene kaije pid paraye jane re. Sakala lokama sahune vande, sakala lokama sahune vande, ninda na kare kene re. Vach khaj man nischal rakhe, vach khaj man nischal rakhe, dan dan janare tene re. Vaishnava Jana to tene kaije pid paraye jane re. Samadrishti ne trishna tyage, samadrishti ne trishna tyage, parastri jene mata re. Jivhata ki hashtan bole, jivhata ki तना बोले परदन नव जले हातारे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहे जे भीड़ पर आए जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहे जे भीड़ पर आए जाने रे.
What's going on? This is Bobby Empath, hanging out with my little guy Veer. First and foremost, I want to thank Rukus Avenue in putting together this great initiative for farmers in India. And we all know what has taken place with the protest. As a farmer works hard and constructs themselves, they are left struggling as their residence starts to crumble, their land starts to diminish, and they begin to lose money. And the result of what is taking place right now, they cannot afford resources, they cannot afford seating, and they cannot take their children to school. And that's a huge outcome from what is happening, especially with the situation that is happening in India. Medications can't be afforded, and the ill and the hungry continues to persist as a result of this. So what solution do we have for this? For one, this is what our next speaker is all about. His name is Dr. Rukus Sandhu, who is the founder of Saheta. What this organization does is they provide equal resources that are readily available for the needy and elderly and for those who need it the most. Also, they provide education to children regardless of their age, their status, and their caste. That's what I call equality. So it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Dr. Rukus Sandhu.
Hi, this is Dr. Rukus Sandhu, and I'm the founder of Saheta Inc. Saheta Inc. was formed in year 2005, and our main work is in India and mostly in Punjab. Our projects are based on healthcare and education front, but since 2015 we have added a farmers sport project called supporting the families of distressed families of farmers and farm laborers who've been struggling with their loans, and there were a lot of suicides in those families. So currently at this time we have Mansa and Moga districts under our charge, and a total of about 144 families and 170 plus children from those families are supported by Saheta. We provide them every aspect of education and their needs. Basically, every need is met, whatever the children's demand, their fees, their clothing, their transportation, their books, pencil copies, and dresses, shoes. So everything is provided under Saheta's Farmer in Distress project. A lot of these families are from farm labor also. So currently we are also supporting the farmers who are agitating and protesting the laws introduced by India government, and they are sitting in Delhi, and we are providing them their needs as they desire in these circumstances, sitting in the cold weather. We're providing them with protection from the cold and their daily needs otherwise, like toothpaste, toothbrushes, soaps, shampoos, and all these little things that they need are being provided. We are always honored to seek and get support from other organizations or other younger youth involvement in this, and there has been a tremendous support for this farmers project. It gives us an opportunity to help more families and more children, because our goal is to give these farmers' kids another platform or another source of income beside the farming, so that they can have a regular income coming in to support their families. Thank you so much for all those who will be willing to donate to Sahayata. We are a 501c3 nonprofit based in California, and we are all volunteer-based organization. Our website is www.sahayata.org, SAHAITA.org, and being volunteers, it helps us maximize the donations because our expenses are very minimal. And once again, thank you so much.
ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਮਾਇਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਦਾਤਾ ਨੇ ਸੁਖਾਲੇ ਕਰਤੇ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਮਾਇਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਸੁਖਾਲੇ ਕਰਤੇ ਜਿਨੀ ਹੱਥੀ ਮੰਗੀਆਂ ਦੁਆਵਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਹੱਥ ਅੱਜ ਸੁੱਖ ਨਾਲ ਦਾਨ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਰਤੇ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਮਾਇਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਦਾਤਾ ਨੇ ਸੁਖਾਲੇ ਕਰਤੇ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਮਾਇਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਸਮਝੋ ਕਿ ਦਾਤਾ ਨੇ ਸੁਖਾਲੇ ਕਰਤੇ
The children of our world have the power to impact social change on various local and global issues that inspire them. You can be of any age and make a difference in this world. We must empower our children to use their voices to stand up for what they believe in and create the world that they want to live in. Next up are some incredible children that have lent their voices and gifts for the farmers of India and our world. Students from all across the United States, under the guidance of Bolly Pop Dance School, perform a chant called Sarva Mangalam, a devotional ode to the forces of nature, choreographed by Akansha Maheshwari. Followed by Makir Singh, a 15-year-old Taus player, an instrument in the Sikh devotional music tradition known as Gurmat Sangeet in the North Indian musical tradition. Recently, he started making hip-hop beats during his free time and slowly started to incorporate the sounds of the Dilruba and Taus into his hip-hop elements. Today, he presents his own composition that he created for the farmers of India. Enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Makir Singh and today I will be playing the Taus in a fusionistic piece entitled Water Flows. As many of you already may know that 70% of India's population are farmers, whose lives are being impacted as they are protesting of the unjust laws that have been passed impacting their lives. But did you know that 60% of the world's population relies on agriculture? So the impact on the farmers' lives in India isn't just their issue. It is a world humanitarian issue because it's affecting all of us. I dedicate this piece to those farmers that are protesting in India and whose lives are being impacted. This piece is entitled Water Flows because, as far as I know, food grows where water flows. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy.
Sat Shri Akal, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum. Hi everyone. I'm Anita Lage, also known as Heer from Denmark. Over a period of 10 years, I spent most of my time in Punjab, immersing myself into the rich Punjabi culture and music. I feel a deep connection to the people of Punjab and a sense of belonging. Today, I want to send my love and appreciation to all the farmers. Thank you for all your hard and dedicated work to feed us all. These lines that I'm going to sing now is my tribute to you. Satke Punjab to jismole meri rooh, sahan de vich gul gaye is mithi di khushboo, sahan de vich gul gaye is mithi di khushboo. Satke Punjab to main satke Punjab to main satke. ए पंजाब है ए इंडिया है मेरा मैं नहीं जाना वे विलैत नू ए पंजाब है मेरा मैं नहीं जाना वे विलैत नू
As a veteran DJ and musician, I have always believed that music is not only a composition of sounds, music is nutrition for the soul. Hi everyone, my name is Raj Gujral, and I'm proud to be part of the Rukus Avenue family. Music has been focal in motivating individuals to take a step in the right direction. To direct a path of righteousness, I present to you legendary Punjabi folk singer Bummy Bai and his song dedicated to those standing up for human rights and the right to free speech. Immediately following will be Star Plus's The Voice finalist from 2019, Hargun Kaur. Enjoy the show.
ਕਈ ਤੁਰ ਕੇ ਕਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਰ ਜਾਣਾ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਏ ਤੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਨਾ ਕਰੀ ਓ ਬਾਬਿਓ ਆਸ਼ਕੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੋਰ ਨਾ ਤ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਇੱਕੋ ਤੇਰੀ ਅੜ ਬੰਨਣੀ ਓ ਜੋਬਰੋ ਆਸ਼ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਾਗਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿਲਾ ਢਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਲੀਏ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਏਕਤਾ ਦਾ ਸਬਕ ਪੜਾਇਆ ਕਾਲਿਆਂ ਕਾਨੂੰਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਤਾਊ ਅਸ਼ਕੇ ਸਿਰ ਤਲੀ ਤੇ ਟਿਕਾਉਣਾ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨੱਚ ਨੱਚ ਖੰਡਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਓ ਜੋਦਿਓ ਅਸ਼ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੱਤ ਪੱਤਣਾ ਦੇ ਦਾਰੂ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੁਣ ਜੀਟੀ ਰੋਡ ਤੇ ਹਾਕਮਾਂ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਕੱਟ ਤੋਲ ਦੇ ਮੰਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੋਲ ਦੇ ਛਾਪੇ ਤੇਰੀ ਤੱਕੜੀ ਦੇ ਓ ਬਾਬਿਓ ਅਸ਼ਕੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਦਾਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਿਹਨਤਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁੱਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਹਾਕਮਾਂ ਬਚ ਕੇ ਹੱਕ ਮੰਗਿਆ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਉੱਠੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਬੱਗਿਓ ਓ ਚੋਬਰੋ ਆਸ਼ਕੇ
ਹੋ ਆਵਣ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਹੱਥ ਬਹਾਨੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੇਵਣ ਤਾਨੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਆਵਣ ਜਾਵਣ ਰਾਹੀ ਲੱਗੇ ਆਵਣ ਜਾਵਣ ਰਾਹੀ ਹੋ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾ ਢੋਲਣ ਮਾਹੀ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਜੇ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਬੀਬਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਘਰ ਬੈਠੀ ਸਜਣਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇ ਘਰ ਬੈਠੀ ਸਜਣਾ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਤੇ ਰੋਲ ਬੈਠੀ ਦਿਲ ਵੇ ਮੈਂ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਬੀਬਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਬੀਬਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਇੰਜ ਦੂਰ ਦੂਰ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਚੱਕ ਲੰਘਣਾ ਹਸਾਂ ਦੀ ਦੇ ਬਿਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਨਿੱਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਉਹ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਨਿੱਕਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਬੀਬਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਅੱਖੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਤੇ ਬੀਬਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਦਿਲ ਮੋੜ ਦੇ
So how can a paint on a canvas or a photograph or a street performance counteract and transcend social and political change? Well, all these artists and activists had one goal in mind: to evoke emotion for the advancement of social and political justice. Behavior psychology tells us that we make decisions based off of our emotions above all else. In fact, art impacts our emotions way more effectively than a scary news report. Artivism's role in society is to motivate and mobilize for a cause. And momentarily, you'll meet a couple of these artists who are doing that right now. With great honor, I'd like to introduce two very talented artists who have been using their canvases to not only educate the masses about the farmers' movement, but to spark conversation or to evoke emotion about what's happening. Let's get into these artists we'll be highlighting today. First up, we have Zoe Harveen of ZHK Designs. Her focus is to create digital artwork that sparks knowledge. Zoe designs digestible infographics, making them a step towards further learning. And she wants her art to inspire others to continue that learning and research after they are inspired from her artwork. Her goal is to provide someone with that aha moment. That's what truly makes her happy. Directly after Zoe, we have graphic and digital artist Beer Saz, who is currently on the borders of New Delhi at this moment. His focus is to create art that speaks for expression and emotion. In his artwork, he is focused on turning the ugliness into beauty, the pain into resilience. Not only is he a master digital artist, he loves to sing with emotion straight from the heart. I hope you enjoy both of them coming up.
Hi everyone, my name is Zoe Harveen Kaur and I am the artist and designer behind ZHK Designs. As you may or may not have known, I have been creating art over the past couple months to support and to advocate for our farmers back in India. My grandparents came from a long line of farmers back in Punjab, and I know that this is something that's so deep to so many people because our grandparents, our parents, our families have such, long histories as farmers, especially mine as well. So I've been creating art that not only uplifts our community, celebrates the richness and the beauty of our farmers, but also shares some information and awareness about our farmer protests. The pieces that do celebrate our farmers look a little bit like this. This is a piece that I did a couple months ago in support of our farmers. 100% of the proceeds of any of these pieces, whether you buy a print or a sweater, went to Sahayata. And then I have created several infographics that lay out a general outline of what is going on in India. Of course, I always notify everyone if you look at my pieces, those should just be stepping stones to your advocacy. So whenever you look at my piece of artwork, I want you to be able to learn, but I also want you to go out and do your own advocacy, because that's the most important part. And that way you can do your own research, you can fundraise, you can donate, you can do whatever you possibly can that's within your reach, especially during this pandemic. So if you do see my artwork, some of it is empowering and uplifting and, celebrating our culture and our farmers, because they do so much for our community. And the other half is informational and infographics that are just a stepping stone for your research. So I hope that you enjoy my art, and whether you share it or not, I hope that you learn something, and I hope that your research continues.
सोच सबर ईमान तो ले जावणगे जिंदगी दे सबरा फरोले जावणगे हाकम नू है नफरत जीना लफ्ज़ां तो उच्ची उच्ची हर था बोले जावणगे उच्ची उच्ची हर था बोले जावणगे When you are in pain, the basic human right you expect from someone is to be able to express it. And when even that is taken from you, that is when you have to decide. Either you want to be a spectator or you want to speak up. I've been here at the Singhu Morcha for last couple of months, but I remember a particular night when things were all anxious here. And I felt like a farmer. Even though I don't have a farming background, my parents are not farmers. But that night I felt like a farmer who's sleeping in his fields and there's huge storm coming in. And I didn't know what to do, but I had to do something. I think that's when I decided to make art, because that is the only thing I always knew. I knew that I had to do something, I had to say what I feel. The initial emotion to it, I think, was anger, because people were getting picked up by the police and there were these nails and spikes and walls around the morcha. That somehow made me angry, and the initial artworks I made were coming from that emotion. But when all the world came together for us, for the farmers, I realized how love is above all. How love always makes you win. And Fool or Kante, my most loved artwork, was based on that emotion. And that even when the hatred is coming from the other side, love is the only way you can win. And love is all there is.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to our show. We really hope you are enjoying United for Farmers. Thank you for tuning in. We have one more artist we'll be showcasing today, and he's Rukus Avenue's very own. Not only is he a sensational instrumentalist, he's recently been inspired by the farmers movement to create artivism that could be worn, fashion with a social purpose. His t-shirt design he will be showing today expresses that no matter your shade, this movement matters to you. He wants to promote standing in unity, moving together, and upholding that solidarity. Up next, we have a very special performance by the Lost Strings, performing with his Dilruba.
ਜਦੋਂ ਖੇਤ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੜੇ ਪੱਕੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪੈਣ ਗੜੇ ਕਰਜ਼ਾ ਜੇ ਸਿਰ ਚੜੇ ਭੁੱਲੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਹੋ ਤਿੰਨ ਜੋ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਬਣੇ ਠੂਸ ਸਾਡਾ ਖੂਨ ਬਣੇ ਜ਼ਖਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਖੂਨ ਬਣੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਪਿੱਠ ਬਾਹਰ
If you don't know what's happening in India right now, it's the world's largest protest ever. And I just need you to search up I Stand With Farmers, Kisan Majdoor Ekta. Come on. Tick-tock, time pass, shooting us back home. Clock fast, don't blink, another farmer gone. No food, no drink, only bullets and souls. Crimes in daylight, need help, pick up the phone. Bad girl, really keeping us strong. Fighting for our rights, we ain't gonna fall. Money gotta stop getting us sold. India got millions sleeping on the cold floor. If you can't use your voice in a time like this, then what's the point of even having one in the first place? Speak up before they block us too, cause I ain't trying to go another genocide silent. No, hell no. Tick-tock, time pass, shooting us back home. Clock fast, don't blink, another bomber gone. No food, no drink, only bullets and souls. Crimes in daylight, need help, pick up the phone.
In a time of financial and agricultural distress, a startup known as the Kingsley Experience has made agriculture financially profitable for rural communities, as well as encouraged several women to become stakeholders within this company. This startup ventures into the personal care industry. As the company grows, so does the village, because all of the workers and stakeholders belong to this specific rural community, as well as all of the profits stay within the community. To give you more insight into the Kingsley Experience, I welcome Aubrey Maurice Kingsley.
Public Day. My name is Aubrey Kingsley, and I started a small social enterprise called Kingsley Experience, located in a small village called Udaipur Gaon, located in the district of Khandwa, Madhya Pradesh. And this is our story.
In 2017, I joined the SBI Youth for India program, a 13-month fellowship working in rural India. I was placed in Pandhana in the district of Khandwa, working with the Aga Khan Rural Support Program. The vision is to create sustainable livelihood opportunities with the goal of giving back to the village.
So we have over here Rekha. Hello Rekha. And that is Kalidi. And this one is Tara.
The women are the backbone of the village, and without their constant support, Kingsley Experience would not have been possible.
We look to use a lot of raw materials directly from the farm, as well as the packaging is done here itself. We look to create as much as employment and income generating activities, and therefore create a sustainable future for our products moving forward.
We look at identifying individuals and working with them to create value. Nitesh, a bamboo artisan, is now supported by Bamboo India and will be opening up his unit in Pandhana. Dilip, who works for a local NGO, set up his organic compost pits from which we get our seed balls. It took us a good part of 2 years to get a unit up and running. All our natural artisan bathing bars are made with pure goat milk, herbs, fruits, vegetables, honey that we purchase locally. Our bathing bars are inspired by individuals who, through their actions, have been a beacon of hope, courage, and strength in their respective fields.
Don't forget to try out our organic natural goat milk bathing bars. Visit our website kingsleyexperience.com, as well as do like our Facebook and Instagram page. Looking forward to your support, and as always, buy local, support local. Thank you.
Team!
Since its inception in this very city, hip-hop has always been a voice for the voiceless, a platform for the unheard, and a tool to bring and spread awareness. And in that spirit, here we are, united for farmers with acts like RMS, Kranti Nari and Prabhune, Krishnadas, and I can't think of a better group to kick things off with than Swadesi and Prakash Bhoer with their track Warli Movement. So here it is, and I hope you enjoy it.
आदिवासी आमच्या पद्धती आहेत ऐतिहासिक या रणाचा मूळ निवासी जीव आणतो पडसर मातीत प्राण हिरवा माझा देव आहे वागोबा प्रगती तुमच्या बाद आमच्या जंगलात न मागवा पैसा किती दाखवाल भौतिक सुखाचे चाखरवाल भविष्य तुमचे हायला बाड मी जगतो हाय तो वर्तमान प्रगतीची तुमचे भोग पाहता पैसे छापते कोण झाडे आमची कापते कोणी जंगलात मेट्रो मागते कोण झाले हाय जगणे दुःख हे पिंजऱ्यात घालता जनावर मुखे केले मालमताचे तुकडे पाहू ना दे तुम्हा आकाश मोकळे गोड बोले नेता ते सोंगाडे आदिवासींचे घर मने झोपडे सोंबडे तर लबाड बोंबले सोया खिशामध्ये रोकडा कोंबले जाऊ आम्ही का तुमची पुढं पाणी पाहू तरी किती तुमची फसवाणी निशिदीने आवाज येता अशा ती आता मग तुम्हाला ती कपाळ तटी धरीने बातमी होईल राटी आता यात मग येईल क्रांती भीत ना तुला मी दिलं का माझी हासी हासी चढवो फासी
माणूस म्हणून जगण्यासाठी आम्हाला सार करायचं अरे माणूस म्हणून जगण्यासाठी आम्हाला सार हे करायचं अरे आज नाही उद्याला मरायचं मग कशाला माग सरायचं अरे आज नाही उद्याला मरायचं मग कशाला माग सरायचं
हमें ना पसंद है खोटा विकास ना है तुम जैसे चोरों पे विश्वास मेट्रो बनाने उखाड़ो तुम झाड़ जब झाड़ ना बचेगे कैसे लोगे सांस घर मेरा जंगल खुला आकाश तुम आए त्रासले नहीं करने इसका नाश प्रकृति का बनाओ मजाक यही प्रकृति से बनी मानव जात तुम आज रहे हो हमें भगा जिनके हमसे तुम हमारी जगह बस बचा ये जीने का तरीका तुम वो भी जिनके करे हमें तबाह सजा पक्षी प्राणी की है क्या क्यों इन्हें बेदखल कर रहे ऐसा उद्योगी सरकार हमें रहे फंसा हमें बटा के ये बना रहे पैसा और बसा रहे भलती सोच भविष्य में इनके बच्चे देंगे इन्हें दोष पर अफसोस वो ना देख सकेंगे वो सहते हुए अपने अगली पीढ़ी को खुद तुम जियो और जीने दो लगाओ पौधे जब तक जीवित हो मूर्खो उठो अपनी सोच बदलो या ना कुछ बचेगा फिर खोने को जीने को एक है प्राण उसकी भी कागज में तुम मांगो पहचान आदिवासी हूँ गरीब इंसान कैसे साबित करूँ मेरा है स्थान मैं किसान उगाऊँ अनाज और हर प्राणी मेरे परिवार समान खुद पे करो तुम बस एक एहसान बचा लो अपनी ये सोने की खान
पड़ी करान पिकवल आदिवाशान काव गुंड हराम खोरान त्याची केली आदुळदान जर का गुन्हा केला पुन्हा त्याला तेथेच गाडायच अरे आज नाही उद्याला मरायचं मग कशाला माग सरायचं अरे आज नाही उद्याला मरायचं मग कशाला माग सरायचं
जंगली जंगली जिंदगी पाहिजे आम्हाला जंगली खावाले जंगली पावर मातीचे नकर मायशी जोडून बसताने वाले हाय जनावर कुकू कुकू म्हटल्या बरोबर एका आवाजावर सारे अंगावर तुम्हाला तो लक म्हणते मला तर पाठीमांग किती गंदी हालर मंत्री नंदी सारखे डोलत गुलाम बनून राजाचा थाळ आदेश देते की जंगल का लावाले तर नाही येत कोणाचा बाप सिमेंटचे मधले टाकले भोबळे तरी बी पाहिजे छमिया ना या जंगलात यकीन नाचतो धरून साऱ्याच्या हातात हात तारपा ढोल वारली बोल वाजते नाचते या जंगलात बायको पोर हार्ड पोर बहीण भावासारखा समान निसर्गाच्या रंगात जगात फेमस आमचा वारली आठ स्वतःचे घरनं अन्न बनवतो नाही हो आम्ही कोणाची गुलाम गाड्या मोठ्या रसवाई तुमच्या इंधनाची तुम्ही करत बाई कारखाने देते जैरीला धुवान तरंगते ढकाची काळी मलाई बंदूक माराले पैसा पण जनतेच्या भुकीचा इलाज केला नाही इतिहास देते साक्ष वारली कधी बी भुकीनं मेला नाही
देशभक्त लोक तुम्ही ना त्याग आम्हा काय मागता देशभक्त लोक तुम्ही ना त्याग आम्हा काय मागता अरे जंगल असे आमची आई रक्षणात जीव जाई
रक्षणात जीव जाई रक्षणात जीव जाई
जंगल असे आमची आई रक्षणात जीव जाई
रक्षणात जीव जाई रक्षणात जीव जाई
झाड तुम्ही तोडून टाकता त्याग आम्हा काय मागता अरे देशभक्त लोक तुम्ही ना त्याग आम्हा काय मागता डोळ्यात देखत उजेड चोरीता त्याग आम्हा काय मागता त्याग आम्हा काय मागता त्याग आम्हा काय मागता त्याग आम्हा काय मागता
They say you reap what you sow. But our farmers been selflessly sowing seeds to see the seed grow and breathe in hopes to feed 1.3 billion folks just so we eat, while getting scraps on their dinner plate from those who regulate and oversee. But even from overseas, I see our blood is thicker than the ocean that flows between us, cause our culture is cultivated by their agriculture, feeding the soil of our native land, nourishing and growing the seed that made this man. We reap the benefits of what our farmers sow, taking the crop they work so hard to grow. So how could we continue taking but not take a stand when they need us? Take a stand for the hand that feeds us, the hand that gives us everything, and in return all they ask is for fair trade and decent treatment. We've been too busy idolizing idols whose idle eyes lie to the camera saying the right thing should be done, which basically means it's left to the rest of us to do what's right. So in this direction we move to light, illuminating the bond between us ordinary folks and the heroes that grew the life that gives us blessings. You can cut our internet but can never sever this connection. Our farmers are the backbones of our homes that hold the beams together. We owe it to them to sow the seed from what they allowed us to reap so that they can reap forever. Speak up.
What would you do if everything you knew was misconstrued and the food that you chewed wasn't true to who grew it, but was used as a tool to subdue all the ruffians and infused with a news that removed all its nutrients? Would you view it as useful and cool and amusement while the people who grew it get brutally abused and the dudes in the suits get the loot to subdue them? Or would you get suited and booted and move as a movement so that the rulers who knew that the rules were abusive but still rooted to use them while the roots were derooted would review them with renewed scruples? I'd choose the latter because I use the data that's minute and scattered behind whose cadavers? That's right, even I knew the answer. It's the farmers. The farmers whose sweat, blood, and tears get swept on deaf ears while the rest blind with fear do less crime but hear the direct cries and cheer. How could you cheer when your people are dying? They're committing suicide. Did you know that they're killing themselves because the little they sell isn't giving them wealth but the minimum health? Instead, these selfish criminal bigots keep giving them hell. And they're putting our kids in jail. Listen. I stand with the farmers who battle with honor so their land isn't squandered while the masses are slaughtered for the cash and the dollar. Corporate taxes gain commas. Ain't no more masking the drama. You see, these corporations are trying to put an end to the Mundi system, the fair trade of food and crops, but this is food for thought because everyone needs wisdom. And since the new laws prevent the local governments from collecting a market fee, I'm channeling the spirit of Cesar Chavez and Dr. King with the will of Mahatma Gandhi and the fight of Muhammad Ali. You see, being forcibly deceived by corporate greed is something my people are way too familiar with. It's like they want the word indigent to be synonymous with indigenous. My body is half Salvadorian and half Mexican, but my soul is 100% Indian. I'm a child of God, so my name represents my direct lineage. No more staying quiet, reserved, and relaxed. I'm standing in front of a map to ensure that the world has my back. Support the farmers.
यात्री कृपया ध्यान दें, कुर्सी की पेटी कस के बांध ले। ये नारी डिस्कवरी टू डिस्ट्रक्शन के बीच किसी भी स्थानकों पर नहीं रुके। इस सफर में आपके साथ क्रांति नारी और प्रभु ने
बनना चाहते सुपर पावर, फिर भी 2 रुपया पर आवर। जीएमओ से कैसे होगा हमारा फार्मर एम्पावर? उपजाओ जमीन में प्रेजेंट केमिकल क्लोरीन, फिर ना अनाज फसल घायल बेहाल किसान बेचे मकान। घर का जवान न देता उस पे ध्यान, ना बयान होते बेजुबान के प्राण। जिसने लिया ज्ञान वो बना इंजीनियर, लेके सीवी पहुंचा वो शहर। घूमे दोपहर ह्यूमंस ऑन डिजिटल अफीम, करते रिप्लेस मशीन लिटरली, बनाते इंडिया को इटली। सिलिकॉन वैली करते कॉपी ब्लाइंडली, टीवी स्क्रीन इंस्टा ग्रीन शेयर करते फेसबुक में। बढ़ा रहे अमेरिका और चाइना का जीडीपी, भरते जीएसटी लेकिन हमें रहना टैक्स फ्री। Instant हो रहा consumption, constant increase in production. This is a systematic discovery to destruction.
Discovery, destruction.
खोज की सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच, आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर। खोज की सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच, आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर। खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर है ये डिजिटल जाल बदलते इनकी चाल और हाल स्क्रीन के पीछे छुपी मेरी युवकाल न करते सवाल रहते बेहाल ख्याल मलहाल संभाल न पाते टालते वर्तमान स्पुतनिक सैटेलाइट का लॉन्च फैलाता यूएस पे खौफ बच्चे कमरों में बंद पढ़ते फिजिक्स कैलकुलस अचीव द ड्रीम टू रीच NASA माइंड्स फ्रॉम MIT नेटवर्क ARPA शुरू इनोवेशन का दौर बढ़ाने मैन पावर फॉर वॉर सैटेलाइट ट्रैश को किया पूरी तरह इग्नोर हम बचकाने हैं लास्ट माइल इंटरनेट यूजर्स www world's worst wire connection 5G इंटरनेट के लिए हाई पावर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रेडिएशन से मरते कितने नेचर्स क्रीचर्स assassination of creation frustration shaken foundation this is the journey of discovery to destruction खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर खोज की थी सोच ये लेता तुझे दबोच आविष्कार ले जा रहा तुझे विनाश की ओर तुझे विनाश की ओर तुझे विनाश की ओर तुझे विनाश की ओर तुझे विनाश की ओर
First and foremost, I would like to thank all of our hip-hop artists for being a part of this. For decades, hip-hop has been known for seeding social change. Similarly, an organization vowed to plant 1 billion seed balls for environmental change. Check them out and see how you can help.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nemo, and I'm glad to be here in unison at this United for Farmers virtual concert. It's a blessing for all of us to come together and share our voice, our hearts, our music towards a global cause, a cause in India, a cause across the world, to support our farmers, those that provide us nourishment and the capacity to live. A deep reverence for the work that they do. And I don't think there's any better way to do it than sharing in this way. In every social revolution, we notice and we see through history that it takes time. It's a journey. It's a journey of generations. And all we can do in each moment that we're alive, that we're a part of that revolution is to plant seeds and water them. And I love this one quote by Nelson Henderson that says, "The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. And I think that's what farmers do all their lives. They plant seeds, they harvest, and they offer it to the world. I want to offer this next song by a dear brother of mine, Daniel Namad, and myself, which offers that spirit, that message, that story, that what we can do now while we are here is plant seeds of love, of hope, of equality, of social justice, and know that it's part of a longer journey way beyond us. Much love. Peace out.
I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing
It's like your whole life, you've been training for this moment. And when the time comes, you just disown it. Meaning, you just surrender, don't control it. Not interested in the clay pots and mold it. Or sitting next to the path, trying to unfold it. Or waiting for the fruits to fall down toward you. Let it go and now you're flowing, feeling quite gorgeous. So you take steps away instead of towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught that what you touch will always turn to gold. And now we're learning when we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, cause no credit is home. A higher power working deeper where the seeds are sowed. And when the seeds are true, then they're seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow. And when it does, you just smile cause now you know. I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow.
When it grows, it grows.
Whatever dies will
and when it dies, it dies. Come on.
Works will
if it works, it works.
Whatever flies will
let it fly, let it
whatever
fly.
Fails will fail.
When it fails, it fails.
What's meant to soar will soar.
And when it soars, it soars.
I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow.
Let it grow, let it
whatever
grow.
Dies will die.
When it dies, it dies.
Whatever works will
and when it works, it works.
Whatever flies will fly.
Let it fly, let it
whatever
fly.
Fails will fail.
If it fails, it fails.
To soar will soar.
Let it soar.
I am planting seeds
and nothing more.
Greetings everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today for United for Farmers, where we honor, respect, and celebrate our farmers. On behalf of Rukus Avenue, I'd like to take a moment to thank each and every person who came together to make this event possible. From behind the scenes to our presenters, our performing artists, our host Diljan, and of course, Sahita, our partner organization who's working on the ground, dedicated to the farmer and their families. As we witness this seminal moment in world history, in human history, let us remember that it is the farmer who sustains our very existence. As a longtime ally and advocate for Indigenous people and their communities, I often reflect upon the relationship and the interconnection between the farmer and Indigenous people. Both have a deep wisdom and understanding of the land upon which they live. Both maintain a harmonious and healthy balance with the environment around them. And both carry age-old methods and traditions on how to cultivate and harvest the food for those who depend on them. We must remember that the fate of the farmer is in our hands, and whatever happens to the farmer directly impacts each and every one of us and the next generation to follow. We thank you today for joining us on this journey of learning more about the farmer and seeing ways that you can support and continue to help locally and globally. Now it is my distinct honor to introduce to you to a world-renowned Native American artist from Crow Nation. His name is Superman, and he's sharing his song, Why. Thank you so much.
Why is one man rich and another man poor? Why we ain't satisfied? Why we gotta have more? Why your suicide rates on the rest so high? Why I tell you the truth but you say don't lie? Why is being a good father at an all-time low? Why is it acceptable? Yo, why I don't know. Why she blame him and he blame her? It's useless. Ask yourself this question. Why you making excuses? Why do parents gotta bury their kids? Why we text and drive, not caring how scary it is? Why it's so hard to forgive and leave the past behind? And if you did, then that's divine. Why don't you help your brother when you see him fall? Why do we act like God don't see it all? Why do we call them black, them white, them Asians and use labels? Now that's racism.
I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii.
Why is there innocent people locked up for life, while some people can't say nothing nice? Why do we always gotta question what all of it means? And why won't you follow your dreams? Tell me why, the night when you took my dad, why'd you let me see my grandpa cry? And tell me why, and why do you choose to hide, even though you was born to fly? And tell me why, and why don't we turn from all the hate? And why don't we learn from all mistakes? Why do I keep on wrecking these fat beats? And teachers don't make more than professional athletes? And why, and why, and why, and why, and why, and why?
I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I don't wanna Hawaii. I don't wanna Hawaii. Why? I Hayo wana hawene, hayo wana hawene yo wa.
Farming is not only an occupation, it is a heritage filled with wisdom and tradition. And we have been a part of this heritage since birth. I thank you all for being a part of United for Farmers, presented by Rukus Avenue. We have attempted to build a shrine for our elderly brothers and sisters who've halted the soil to grow and cultivate crops. Without these individuals, we would never have nutritious food on our tables. Through this time of distress, we stand by them in full support. Once again, I thank you all for being a part of United for Farmers. Please appreciate each meal and appreciate each farmer. Thank you so much.
I